Welcome back to the Cornerstone SMP. Today I want to once again expand the Dwarven Kingdom, but this time it won't be underground. Before we get to that, there's one more detail that I would like to add to what we already have in our mine, and that is a banner. So you guys obviously know that you can make these special patterns using the loom on banners, and I found one that I think is pretty cool. I'm gonna try it, maybe I'll adjust it a bit. I'm not super happy with some of the colors, but let's first of all do it the way that, you know, the tutorial shows you to do it, and then we'll see how it actually looks in the game. And I'm gonna link the tutorial below, since, you know, it's not a pattern that I came up with myself. You can look at that if you want to. So this one has a black base and starts with a flower charge. And the pattern is also based around the old way of making banners in a crafting table instead of a loom. So what changed there also, I think, is that you can't have as many steps. You can't put as many forms and colors on a banner as you used to, so I'm not sure if the full pattern is actually gonna work now that I have to use the loom. What I don't love is the yellow. I'm not a big fan of the blue-yellow combo, but we'll see. Okay, see, that's what I was talking about. There's supposed to be 2 more steps, but you can't do any more on the loom. But you can already still kind of tell what it is supposed to be. So it's like a sunrise behind a mountain, but then at the same time it also looks, at least I think it looks like a crystal or like a gem. So it works perfect for a Dwarven Kingdom, right? But let's do some more tries, adjust it a bit. Maybe I'm gonna go with just a blue background so that we don't even have to put in that gradient ourselves. I don't think the black is that important. Yeah, let's see what we can come up with. I tried one just without the blue gradient, which then allows one more step and makes the mountain already look a lot better. I also made the top bit of the mountain light grey and then the bottom dark grey, which I think looks a bit better. But the background is too dark, so I'm gonna just do the same again, but with a blue base, I think. Yeah, I think that is exactly what I imagined. Yeah, great. I'm happy with that, and let's spread it around the mines. The banners have been put in, so let's get to our big project for today. Behind me, you see that awesome worm scenery that I put into one of the cliff sides here at the base. And I think it's time that we give the other side of the river, the other cliff face, also some interest and detail. And for that first step in doing so, I would actually like to take some inspiration from that build. I've always been more interested in building, you know, buildings, more than terraforming, but I would really like to get better at it. So we're gonna take that water basin over there and yeah, just run with that idea and see where it leads us. Because this cliffside over there can definitely use something interesting to look at. let's do a bit of a progress update. The new project, once again, of course, it's not finished. There's always stuff to do, right? But I do want to just show you what we have so far and kind of take you in on the progress, you know? Not just show you the beginning and end, but also the in-between steps and thoughts. So we have the water basins, of course, that I mentioned earlier, and little waterfalls between them, connecting them. We have vines and dripstone coming from them. And what I still want to do there is just blend it in more, by which I mean basically replace a bunch of the dirt behind it with stone. And then over there, I want to add another basin running along there so that there can be a waterfall just flowing onto that big mill wheel down there. Yeah, let's actually take a closer look at that area. So this is supposed to be a bit of a harbor, right? We have a ship. I'm actually really happy with this. This is the first, I believe it is the first ship I've ever built myself, like designed myself. I've always kind of avoided them because they seem tricky, and they are. But I'm happy with this one. It still needs some decor on the inside, some, you know, it looks pretty empty, but it has this little pavilion that I like a lot. And that's kind of it. There's not that much on this boat. I don't always know how to just make these builds sound more interesting than they are. Yeah, let's go up there and see what kind of a view we have from there. I mean, it's not that big. Of course, the boat is rather small. Not a tiny fishing boat or anything like that, but it does need to be fairly small so that it makes sense that it's sitting on a river, right? But yeah, this area is really starting to come together. That's awesome. I'm happy. This is a dwarvish style boat, that's why it has a bit of a, you know, Scandinavian look there over at the pavilion. Because it does belong to the dwarves that live here in our base, the faction of the dwarves, the people of the dwarves. You can also see here that I, you know, use that color palette that we have in the mines. Also that water, I'm gonna have to kind of try and make that look a bit better. The buildings don't have anything on the inside and still need a lot of work on the inside. Well, they're small, so it's not actually that much work. But yeah, you can see here it's 2 buildings and they just have these 2 big mill wheels sticking out of them. So that, you know, this area is supposed to consist of a bunch of waterfalls. We will add more. And it just makes sense that the people living here would want to make maybe use of that. Then this path here still needs detailing, especially just putting in slabs so that you can walk along here easily, get to the harbor easily. And I want to show you how literally this ship connects, and the mill as well connects to the Dwarven Kingdom. Because as you can see here, the path continues into the rock, just there behind me. And here I have put in a bunch of slabs already so that you can walk along it easily. I still want to replace these torches with some lanterns, make it look a bit nicer. But yeah, it's a nice tight winding path, kind of what I really just want here in the cave anyway. So this works out perfectly. It's fairly long actually, as you can see. And it leads down here into the mines. Yeah, you can see there's one of our dwarves from last episode. He's working, and yeah, that's our connection to the outside now, because usually I will just fly out between the pillars, you know, out of that hole, but now we actually have a walkway as well that you can use to get outside of the cave. And a goal of this, especially this mine side of the kingdom, is that there's a lot of these small paths, you know, leading into the rock, through the rock, and you feel like you can get lost in them. And this definitely adds to that and is a step in that direction. So I'm happy with that. But again, you know, you can see there's still a lot of small things to do, some big ones as well. But we have a nice new addition, a new idea for the base, a new little area, our dwarvish harbor. Just makes this place more interesting. Oh, let's also add some of these banners that we just made earlier here to the boat. Yeah, I think that looks good. Awesome. That's going to do it for today though. Hopefully by the time of the next episode I will have given at least this area down here its finishing touches. Or maybe we'll build the harbor together then. We'll see. Depends on what I come up with. But I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye!